Welcome back. The Narendra Modi government completed 3 years in office this week. India Today's Devina Gupta sits with corporate honchos to get their report card on the hits and misses of the BJP government. Take a look.
Hello and welcome. It's a historic occasion of the Modi government completing 3 years. India Inc. joining us for their report card. Also a historic occasion because we're looking at the World Hunger Day this weekend. So whether the government has done enough for the social sector, how can the corporate partnerships help, all this and much more in this special broadcast. I'm Devina Gupta. Let's start with our guests first. Joining us right now are Sridhar Venkat, CEO Akshay Patra. We also have Manoj Kumar, who's MD GSK Consumer Healthcare. We also have Poonam Kaul, who's Vice President Pepsi, who's joining us at the moment of corporate communication. And we also have Sanjay Khajuria, who's Senior Vice President of Corporate Affairs in Nestle. Sanjay, this question is for you. How has the business scenario changed? How has doing business changed? Because ease of doing business on the charts for World Bank, India has retained its ranking for 130. And that's just going on to say that more needs to be done.
Manoj is here and you see they have been making Horlicks, I don't know for how many years.
More than 100.
More than 100 years, yeah. And we are into the business for over 100 years in India,
right,
and 150 years. So
right,
nutrition as part of business has always been there. What we see is consciousness towards these products increasing.
But there's been the biggest shake-up with demonetization. And I just want to get your sense that how have Nestle's programs, have they been impacted or not impacted in this regard?
No. Demonetization, as you know, we have always said that it was an opportunity for us to go more digital, which is what we have done. Most of our distributors are already on digital modes or electronic modes. More people have gotten into this. So on the programs which we run, I can assure you, Sridhar, no impact.
Poonam, what about you? How has the demonetization shift been?
So again, I would talk about it from our programs perspective. I think, like Sanjay said, these are things that you do for the long term. You don't pull the plug because something has gone wrong or something is impacting the business. Because, like he said again, I'm just repeating, you can't tell a child that tomorrow onwards don't come to school because you won't get food. So these are programs that are committed. These are 3-year, 5-year budgets, and they continue.
All right. And Manoj, how do you assess the demonetization drive?
See, for us, we have a very deep penetration, as you know. And, we have we focus a lot on accessibility and availability. So we have got these small sizes as well, right? Like a 5 rupee Horlicks on sachets. So we always believe that when consumers have a problem buying, from a cash point of view, a larger size, there should always be a small size available.
For the last 8 or 10 years, we have a policy in Akshay Patra. We don't accept any cash. For the last 10 years, any donor who has to donate, the receipt says no cash.
Right.
10 years back, we implemented this.
So you've actually gone ahead of the government to tackle the black money. Let me put that in.
And we welcome all these moves of government where transparency is coming in, digitization is coming in. So whatever we raise is through online, secure payments, where identity is very clear.
But there is a catch here, because when you talk about inflation, I think that's been a silver lining, because inflation has seen a dip. We have seen CPI inflation moving down from 9.3% to 5.1%. The wholesale index inflation has also gone down in negative territory now, which will only go on to benefit the consumers and organization like yours.
Yeah. So what we have been trying to do is we are trying to see if we can connect directly to the farmer. We have a supply chain in place because 40% of my bought out is dal. So if dal prices go up, then Akshay Patra meal gets impacted. So we also, as a not-for-profit, have gone ahead and implemented product development centers. We have a food lab which tests our nutrition on a regular basis. So supply chain is extremely important. We have a central sourcing in place. And we did about 2 billion meals last year. And the plan through this movement is to reach to 5 billion meals by 2020.
Now, one of the landmark policies, Poonam, this time round from the government is goods and services tax, because that's where we've seen a consensus built by the politicians. But how is India Inc. taking it, especially Pepsi? Because we do know there's a sin tax in the making for the aerated drinks, which will have a direct impact on your company.
GST is good for the country. That's what I would say. We've got tax. The impact of tax, various tax, whether it's the 12%, 18%, and the cess that impacts various products. So we've got a range. We've got some 22 brands. So there is different impact of the tax on different parts of the business. When it comes to sin tax, well, I wouldn't call it sin tax, because we believe we give options to people, right? We give you a Pepsi if you want a Pepsi. There's a moment for a Pepsi, but at the moment, we're working with the government to see how we can optimize the impact of the taxes.
While black money has been addressed, let's talk about the biggest scare in the room for the young. When you talk about future, this is the younger demographic dividend that we're looking at, and there is a job scare in the market. Government has not done enough. According to data that is available, hardly there are about 2 lakh jobs that are being created annually. And here I want to bring you, Manoj, where is it that the private sector is lacking? Why is it that we're not looking at immediate job creation?
See, look, I mean, from our point of view, where I look at, from where I see things, we are seeing economic progress. We are also seeing rural economy growing. We are also seeing that, you know, there is a lot of optimism in the country today. So all this really creates a feeling that, you know, people can take risks, that people can also, you know, increase the entrepreneurship in the country. So it's employment, which is also the focus of all of the government also, is the self-employment, and that's also very important. So I think the environment which is today here is actually pointing us in the right direction.
So don't worry, as far as visa tightening is concerned abroad, you do have opportunities to stay home, to come back home?
In fact, right now, looking at the situation across the globe, there are more opportunities in our country than in any other place.
But Sridhar, is the growth that we're talking about, because the figures are quite stark. You have the GDP, which has witnessed a continuous increase, after which there was a slowdown. The annual growth is higher by 1.2 percentage points. You're looking at a 7% growth. But has this growth been inclusive enough?
What we have been trying to do in Akshaya Patra is to ensure that there is inclusive growth that is happening in the country, because these are our children. So one cornerstone principle which we have in Akshaya Patra is what these children would have otherwise eaten if their mothers had resources. We want to give them that food. So that's where partnerships with corporates really help to ensure that these children are empowered and they grow up to be powerful children, youth, and also contribute to the talent pool of the nation. We've got a great country at the end of the day, and if you want to really reap the demographic dividend which we have on our side, we can't have our children going hungry to bed. Now imagine a classroom where the child comes to the class hungry, and the teacher is teaching very good maths and physics. So it's extremely important that we, at a very fundamental level, address the issue of hunger.
With that, it's a wrap on this special broadcast, as we spoke more about the public-private partnership, as we spoke about the economic growth and how India Inc. is feeling about the government's policies. Hope the next 2 years we'll see the 7% growth target in double digits now, with the government that has the mandate from the people. Thanks for watching.